How's it going, everyone? Tim here, Tier D Adventures. Hope everyone's all well out there. As always, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Well, I'm sure the rest of everyone's kind of been like here. Outside has been like an oven. As you can see, we're a little sunburnt. It is hot, so we're just kind of in relax mode. So I've just had a hankering to get a new build going and just get something else out there and have a little fun with. Like I've mentioned several videos and everything else, like I really enjoy the build process, whether it be from the ground up or taking an RTR and then just modifying it, stuff like that. The building process I enjoy a lot, sometimes as much as driving the trucks. So that's what we did here. Decided to put together a new Gspeed V3 rig together. Now this is going to be kind of like my cheater rig. But what I mean when I say that, cheater rig isn't necessarily like it's cheating. It's like I'm a truck I'm building not for competition. So I'm not limited by body trimming, rules, tires and stuff like that. I'm not comping with this necessarily, but I want to have some stuff so I can get a little more aggressive with the trimming. I can throw some different tires on there that are on the ban list or something like that. Because I'm not comping with it. I'm not limited by rules. So that's all we have there. And like I said, the only thing that truly makes this is a body change of wheels and tires, and it could very well be a legal rig. Outside here, we went with a good old Ciffhanger body. We did some aggressive cutting here along the sides, took up some both sides. So like I said, body modifications. I have a pinch, front and rear, and now both sides. So that would be 3 of 3 modifications. Therefore, this body would not be legal. Overall, I said I wanted to do just kind of some aggressive cutting and everything on the body. I was able to get the shock towers to come through a little bit more, front and rear, and just overall very aggressive trimming. And then just threw on just a simple black paint with a silver stripe there. We got a Yellowjacket logo there in the front, and went ahead and hit the windows with a red tint. Overall, I think it came out pretty good. So with the body off there, I know some things always about how to mount the body. So here in the rear, I took a Gspeed square spacer. I drilled a hole and I used a Gspeed body post mount, and I used a nylon nut and bolt there so the body slides on that way and then comes down here in the top. Now here in the front, I have from JJ 3D Design, I have a unicorn body post mount there. He does amazing work. I have a couple things on there from him, including this winch mount, winch hook, roof rack, and other stuff like that. So he knocked it out of the park for me on these. I needed a couple of specific body mounts, so I got several ordered from him, and they worked great. Let's start here on the outside for wheels and tires. So for wheels, we're using some 1.9 Vanquish KMC Tank wheels in anodized red. And just one of the tank wheels. I just really like the way it looks, and actually these will look familiar because I stole them off of the Gatekeeper when the Gatekeeper got new wheels and tires for it. And then tires, we're running the JConcepts Ruptures 1.9. And this is a banned tire. It is on the ban list because of its lack of scale appearance and also its size for, say, like class 2. It is a 4.9 inch tall tire versus our standard 4.75 inch tall tires. You can see just a little bit of height difference there. Width-wise, very similar. The Ruptures, they're not a new tire. They've been out for a very long time. And I've just never tried any just because, all my trucks I was just competing with. So I didn't want to put a tire that I couldn't compete with on them and like it or get used to it and then have to take it off and run something different. But for this rig, since it has no comp orientation, we are running them on there. I do like them a lot. They have an aggressive tread pattern on there. They hook up really good. That size difference there, just a little bit taller tire, does make quite a bit of a difference. So, it is, if you're looking to put a tire on a cheater rig, something like this, this is basically kind of like a go-to tire. They have the 1.9 Ruptures and 2.2 Ruptures as well. Now for foams, I do have a couple sets of the new 4.9 anti-foams ordered, but in the meantime, I do have some Proline dual stage foams in here, and they've actually done quite well. The Proline dual stage foam's a little bit bigger anyway, so it actually fills them out really nice, and I also have all 4 tires vented as well. Then we'll just dig on a little deeper down into the chassis here. Similar chassis, you've seen me build several of these before. That's why I didn't necessarily go through like a full step-by-step build video. I've done several videos putting the Gspeed together step by step. It's all the same process. Even if you're not building a Gspeed, the assembly process of most LCG ground up chassis and stuff like that is very similar step by step. Sometimes you'll just need the parts that go with that chassis and then go from there. We have a V3 chassis in carbon fiber, Gspeed laydown servo mount here, and the Gspeed multi-panhard, and a couple of Gspeed spacers in there as well. I'm using a custom 3D printed skid here some custom 3D printed boat sides. Found this file on Thingiverse and works really, really well. I also do have the Gspeed, the G-Shot carbon fiber sliders on the way as well. I totally forgot to order them, and I had these laying around, so we went ahead and put these on so I can take it out and play with it. In the front, I do have a modified bumper from Bent Metal Fabrications. I'm not too sure if it'll actually stay, and obviously being a cheater, I don't necessarily need a bumper by any means. I like having a front bumper on my builds. No matter what I'm using it for, I still like to have a front bumper, so that is there just because it feels like something might be missing, so that's what we're rolling with. Here in the front, I mentioned when I was talking about the body post mount, I had a few other parts from JJ's 3D Design. And one of those here is a micro servo winch mount. This goes in right behind the laydown servo mount, bolts to the shock towers, and then also has a lead attachment that bolts to the front of the servo mount. So everything's there, has a nice little filament tube to guide all the line. Just put a micro winch on there just to kind of have something in case for whatever reason we do like an outlaw class where this is okay, or if something happens and I'm at another event, I basically have a chassis ready to rock and roll for spare parts if needed. Shocks here, we went with some good old trusty Traxxas 2660 big bores. These are the short shocks, and I'm using the Traxxas 8361 shock cap there, and modded to accept the Losi mini T-spring. I'm using some no preload spring cups there as well. It's an always good, faithful shock combination. They work really well. They have tons of aftermarket parts and support for them. I already had them in the drawer, so that was a definite win there. And then link-wise here, we have some high clearance links from In The Works RC. All the way around, high clearance front and rear. These are stainless, and wheelbase on this truck is set about 12.75. We've seen all my comp trucks transform into portals this year. So 1, 2, and 3 are portals. It's like, you know what? I want to get another straight axle truck put together. So that's what we went with. We went with the AR45 straight axle here in the front because I needed the offset pumpkin. And then in the rear, we're using an SSD AR44, and I do have a link riser there on the AR44 as well. And drive shafts, I'm using a Incision drive shaft here in the front and just a wild bore in the rear. Now I do have a transmission here, I just can't go into details about it. So it is Mystery Magical Transmission, and that's what we're gonna go with. And then as far as electronics, we're using good old trusty G14 servo here from Three Brothers RC, and we're also using the 1500 kV Yellowjacket motor because I needed a small, low-profile motor there, and outrunners and torque and everything on here just works good. ESC for right now, I am running the Castle copperhead in here for right now. Luckily, no glitches, no cutoffs yet. Fingers crossed, it's still going strong. Seems like the last batch, even these have gone immensely better than that first round of copperheads. Well, as you can see there, I mean, it's a pretty simple, straightforward build. I mean, nothing too crazy, nothing fancy, no hidden tricks or anything like that on here, and it works really, really well. And I did throw it on the scales, my weight bias, everything there's good. We're setting 50-50 side to side, and then I'm setting 63 front, 37 rear as far as weight bias front and rear. And I've had a blast with the truck so far, and it's just good to have just a kind of a spare truck that I can just take out whenever. Like if I don't feel like taking any of the comp trucks out, if the weather's a little on the meh side, I don't feel like taking those out, but I'll mostly be like trailing, but I still want to take, you know, a capable, like an LCG with me. I can throw this in the truck and be ready to go and still have a very capable truck on standby in case I want to take it out. I will get my build list together and get everything linked down in the description below. Any comments, questions, anything like that, as always, put them down below. Do my best to get everything answered. I do have just a little bit of running video to go with this one. I was just kind of out having just a good time today. I probably should have recorded a lot more, but I'll try to get some just regular videos in, and I am working on a course here at the house. In the meantime, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already, and until next time, everyone, have a great one and crawl on.